Hello, world, and welcome to episode 1 of Chubby Cats. I guess I'm your host, Tom Conyers, and I'm joined by my two lovely brothers. I don't know if you want to introduce yourselves real quick.
Nope.
Nope? Cool.
No, this is Jason. I am the eldest
Are you?
and sexiest. Yeah, always. Since birth.
It's because I tend to act and or bullshit that I'm more mature.
Right, and who are you?
I'm Sterling, by the way. Yeah.
Sterling.
Yeah, unique name.
Sterling Silver. But yeah, so this is going to be episode 1 of hopefully a weekly podcast. It's going to be our flagship podcast of chubbycat.net. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. Like, I thought I was going to have this grand introduction and people were going to be listening to it and thinking it was a great thing, but
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
I mean, yeah, you've gone to the trouble and found us on iTunes, and you somehow put us on your iPad or Zune or whatever, and you're listening to us right now, and hopefully you haven't turned us off yet.
It's really difficult to turn me off, by the way. I should really mention that.
Oh, we should
Heads
also
up.
preface that Sterling is the sexual one of our group. Like, in a boy band, he would be the JC of the group.
JC. Which?
NSYNC, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
NSYNC.
Oh.
He's like a walking STD waiting to happen.
Whoa. That makes it sound like I'm unsafe.
Yeah. I mean...
All right, that's valid.
yeah. You kind of walked into that one, buddy.
Wait, can we segue off topic for a second here?
Oh, no, of course.
So I'm looking at this giant box of Zowers, which, if I'm reading it correctly, says there's 180 bags?
There's, 180 calories.
Oh, okay. Per serving?
Per serving.
How many bags were in there? 'Cause
So that's my sister's box. My box is upstairs, and it's empty, and I can say there was about 25 bags.
That's a little obscene. Wait, how many calories does that work out to? I mean, not a health nut here.
I ate one. If it's any...
Yeah, so I've only had 24 bags of hours.
Okay, that's...
And if it makes you feel better, yes, I ate 2 bags a night.
I'm glad you kept rate. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, they're like crack. I don't know if you ever had Zowers, people, but
or crack. I mean,
or crack. Both are highly addictive, and both you need to go to get help.
This is iTunes or whatever you happen to find us on. So
Hopefully our website.
Yeah, our website. That would be great.
Hopefully
but we don't judge. I mean, I'll be honest. When we're speaking, it's going to sound like we judge hard, but in reality, we accept you for who or whatever you happen to be doing or into.
Yeah.
If you can hear crinkling in the back, that is legitimately a cat playing in a...
You guys, there is a reason we are the Chubby Cats.
We are quite literally surrounded by... And I'm going to use this right now because I figured I have the opportunity. We're surrounded by pussy. And it's
right off the gate.
Great.
I was wondering how far we would make it into the podcast before Sterling either dropped pussy or cock or vagina or asshole.
I don't actually say cock that often.
We made it exactly 3 minutes into our podcast, sir, before we brought up the pee.
Realistically, that was like a minute and a half longer than I anticipated.
Yeah, I almost was pretty sure you were going to introduce yourself, Sterling the Poonhound Morris.
I've gotten better. I mean,
You've tapered off. You've tapered off a little.
I mean, I'm in a serious relationship, so I think it's calmed me down a bit. Maybe not when I speak or like daily interactions or how often I masturbate, but in general.
I mean, your porn blog got shut down.
Yeah, I shut it down. That was a personal choice.
It was like Skynet. Like Skynet. It was getting a mind of its own.
Yeah, it was growing fast and strong and hard.
When you realized
every damn time I speak,
you had started to repost things that you had posted that had circulated to come back to you.
It's a vicious cycle. Tumblr, it's a hell of a drug.
I haven't got on the Tumblr.
Oh, man.
I mean, so I just now got on Snapchat. I had Instagram and Facebook, and for a long time I was like, Snapchat's stupid. And I'm on Snapchat, and every time I open Snapchat, I have the same feeling. Snapchat is stupid, and but I think that's my last straw. Like, because every day I deal with deleting Snapchat or not, but like I don't think I could ever do a Tumblr or this Reddit. I don't get Reddit.
I actually have come to enjoy Reddit and again YouTube, but mostly because I don't leave my house much as of recent, and so I have nothing but time to sit and literally scour the internet for all manner of things, usually in relation to Pokemon Go or video games. And that wasn't me. And by no means was that me even a few months ago, but that has become my life.
For those of you listening in for the first time, Sterling Morris has had foot surgery recently, and he also doesn't sleep really more than a couple hours a night. So most of what he does is just kind of browse and
Everything.
Yeah, and he sends us links.
Constant.
Pinterest now is a new thing.
Constant links.
Yeah, he's the
Constant. Pinterest, I've hit hard and fast. Anytime I'm introduced to new media, you give me about a week, and it suddenly seems like I've been doing this thing for ages.
Dude.
But Pinterest, it's just, except for the fact that I'm not looking at pornographic material. That was Tumblr again. Give A plus to Tumblr for the.
By the way, this first podcast of Chubby Cat episode 1 brought to you by Tumblr. Thanks, Tum.
Yeah. Thanks, Tums. Yeah, for all the good times, all the wanking, and other things.
By the way, I just want to, before we get into this some more, we didn't discuss this beforehand, but this will be heard by public people and probably your family and friends.
I mean, would they be surprised?
No.
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 Yeah, definitely not.
Future employers,
Just don't use
Your
baby.
sex life is none of their business.
yeah, valid. That's valid.
Your extracurricular activities. Also, Reed, when he says he's not looking at porn, he just means on Pinterest. He doesn't look at porn anymore.
Yeah.
No.
He's still
Oh no! By
quite
no
the
means
aficionado.
yeah, but by no means does it mean I've stopped all pornographic entities in my life. That's far and wide from the truth. But yeah, no, I hit Pinterest hard and fast. I'm 3, 4, 5K pictures and things in. It's nowhere near the Tumblr blog, but good God, it is up there. It is up there.
Yeah. So speaking of, you said you're in a stable relationship. We've talked about this a lot in life. For people who don't know, because you don't. There's gonna be people that do know us and don't know us. I would assume they'll listen to us. Hopefully that's how things plan out. But we talk about this a lot. I've been now single for almost a year and a half, longest I've ever been single. And me and Sterling, we had to talk about this yesterday in the mall. But I think I've become a bitter old man when it comes to love. Holy shit!
Sorry, a cat just jumped across the room.
Jumped like a panther stalking prey. It was awesome.
Again, it falls to me to once again take my hand to the pussy and calm it.
Yep.
And handle it.
This is true facts. But yeah, we were talking about me being bitter in love because everyone's in love right now in my life, and it made me think like, am I I saw someone the other day, like a couple like PDAing in public, and I got furious.
No, that shit drives me
Like
bonkers.
I got furious. I was like, how dare you? Like I can understand like a kiss and stuff, but these guys were going at it in public.
Yeah.
Sterling.
What? You go in for the cute light peck, and then that builds. You go in for the real kiss, and then you pull in for a surprise, stick my tongue basically to the tonsils, and you just tease the back of the throat a little bit. Usually you get a moan in response.
Because they're choking.
In pleasure.
Like, you were closing their airway and they're gasping, but you are somehow thinking that's a moan?
He's like, she's so turned on, she's clawing my back. No, she's trying to grab a shirt and pull you back.
And this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen a lot, folks.
It's gonna happen a lot.
I'm just gonna air it out right now. Fuck you guys. But anyway, life's too short to pretend that you don't like getting choked in bed.
Yeah.
Why did I go so sexual? So
I don't
fast?
know, man. Like, you
Sex
guys,
is universal.
yeah,
It's universal.
It is universal. We are drawing lines right now, and our listeners are going to be like, "Oh, this guy is this guy. This guy's this guy," and Sterling is Sterling.
He's that guy.
All right.
That being said, to answer your question,
Yeah.
So I've been married just over, well, not quite a year and a half, but just over a year, and I cannot stand PDA. Whatever, holding hands, doing the little stuff, whatever.
Right.
But I see people going at each other like rutting animals, and it makes me angry.
It does.
So I feel you on that. I have the exact same.
Like, don't get me wrong. I like a good makeout sesh, and now that I'm older, I like good.
Fisting?
Yes. Yes.
There's a lot of gestures right now.
I know.
There's a lot of gestures.
Gesturing is great for an audio medium. I don't know if you know this,
It
you
is.
guys. But yeah, I don't know, like a good, hanky panky. That's the word I'm looking for.
You can't just say sex. I mean,
sex.
Pick
Fucking. Does that make you feel better? Fucking.
Pick a word.
Making love. I love a good love sesh.
Nookie? I mean,
Nookie.
I've heard that referred to when in reference to Chuck Norris. Man, I deeply respect, but I've heard for some reason Chuck Norris enjoys the nookie. So if you're going to refer to something, you might as well go the Norris route.
Would he do it all for the nookie?
He probably.
Okay.
Not saying no.
Not saying he wouldn't. But yeah, I've always been a fan of those things. But I also think there's like a time and place.
Oh, I agree.
Like, I went on a date recently with a girl, as you both know.
Yes.
And for better things, I feel like it'd just be better that we just don't use names in this podcast.
Well, yeah.
No, yeah.
We'll try and avoid it, I think.
I feel like
Try
that.
not
No,
to.
as in try, I think we shall. It's gonna be hard to rein in these two people, you guys. I don't know if you know this, but it went well. The date was going well, I would
Yes.
say. And we found a spot. We parked, as the kids say, right? Mm-hmm. Right, that's the little thing, parking.
Yeah.
And things started going well. But then out of nowhere, a truck comes by and kind of like does like a weird U-ey by us while we're in the back seat of my car, and I'm like, that's weird. But then he like stopped and like slowed down, and I felt like he was looking into my car, and then he parked in front of us. So then I got wigged out because he was just like idling in front of my car while I'm knuckles deep, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Nux.
To provide a little context too, this was like a deserted road in the dark.
In the dark.
Like-
It's like 11:30 at night. I'm not like at a school.
No.
Like no. Like I'm like, no one drives down this road. I know what's up. And out of nowhere this truck comes. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna leave. Well, the girl was like, why? And I was like, because this guy is gonna call the cops on us. So she's like, whatever. So I go, and I'm no longer in the mood, right? Like, mood's gone. I'm kind of like, whatever.
Got some energy.
She's still in the back seat enjoying herself, having a grand old time. And so I get her back to her car, and I'm like, all right, maybe it's time for to go. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm kind of done. And I'm getting picked up, bro. I don't know. Real quick side note: we're in the most ghetto setup ever in my kitchen. We're three robust men sitting quite close to one another, talking into a single microphone. And my favorite,
real close.
And my favorite part is I had to readjust them so they could be heard, but I'm being told to sit forward, and I'm actually sitting farther back because I'm too loud.
From the guy that doesn't have a headset on.
Yes.
By the way. He
Yes.
can't hear.
He cannot hear. He cannot hear. We can only afford one headset. This, you guys, I just want to let you know, episode 1. We can only go up from here, right?
Yeah.
We can only go up from here.
Please, for the love of all things.
But to continue my story, so I told her to get out, and she got really upset that I was kicking her out of the car.
Side note: at this point, they are now in a church parking lot.
We are in a church parking lot. And
They're
I'm
no
like,
longer on a back
and
road.
she's still like, let's go, let's do this. And I also forgot to mention a guy on a motorized bicycle randomly comes through the parking lot. It's 11 o'clock at night, you guys. And he has an entire parking lot to pick a spot to fix his bike. He stops right next to my car. And I'm in the driver's seat. She's still in the back seat, half naked. And I'm like, what is going on?
I mean, this guy's thinking safety in numbers, right?
Yeah. I was like, really? Out of all the spots? And then finally, it got through her head that it wasn't going to happen. She got really mad. She's like, you're the first person ever to turn me down. And I was like, well, shit happens. And then she left.
All right,
I don't know why we started that story.
I've got
to tell you the truth.
PDA.
Yeah. So I was trying to say
Time and place.
Yeah, time and place. Clearly was not the time or place.
Okay, I've got a couple points on this. I can't.
I went down that rabbit hole and I just started feeling the anger again.
You got anxious.
I did get really anxious. I just couldn't handle it. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so mad right now.
Take note, he did not go down the other metaphorical rabbit hole,
No,
being
but
sex or intercourse or getting off.
And that must be why I'm mad, because it must just be the pent up sexual aggression from that time where I didn't get to go.
Do your balls hurt now?
No, it's more I'm just frustrated at the situation of
okay.
She didn't get what I was saying, and then I was also like, well, am I less of a man because I don't want to go to Pound Town right now?
Okay, that's that's going a little too far. You're not less of a man for not wanting to. Again, situationally, and everyone has their turn-ons, their turn-offs, and being in the mood factors in. By the way, for me, that one, nothing could have stopped me. Maybe legitimately, I mean, if I hear the words no or I don't want to have sex, that would stop me. Let's weird.
Wait.
We're in a yes
Kind of
means
paused
yes.
on that
You
one.
kind of. What do you mean I fucking
Pause.
You're like, if I hear the. Oh my god, I'm sorry, listeners. If I hear the words no.
I was formulating a sentence.
There was a bit
Thank you.
It felt like you were really weighing that out.
Sterling, I want to bring you back to time and place, but this time we'll relate it to pauses.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind for hopefully future shows.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, again, yes means yes here in the state of California. Firm believer in that and in women's rights.
So you're saying like in Arizona?
I have no
Yes,
idea.
might not.
I have no idea what's going on in Arizona. I happen to live in California, so I know what is going on here.
For the listeners here, Sterling Morris will only want accept a no.
Watch out,
in
other
one
49,
state.
other 49 states. Watch out.
Why do I do this with you
I
guys?
don't know,
Why?
Man
Every,
has a passport. Be careful.
every fucking time. Why do I submit myself to this ridicule? I guess it's gold. Anyway. I don't. It's not that I necessarily am going out of my way to enjoy public sex, and yeah, thank you guys for
Fuck.
trying to maintain a little decorum.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's catching that, right? Anyway, yeah. So
I'm waiting for you to finish your sentence, man.
Go on.
I'm really trying.
It's like,
Again, I'm not actively seeking out to go, have sex in public places like supposedly abandoned roads. Like, what age are you again that you're off with some girl on a road about to engage in coitus?
wow, man. First episode, you told me to divulge my age.
Well, I mean, I don't
What's
know.
your social again?
Yeah, what's your address?
What, don't you have LifeLock?
Yeah, no, you've already told them that we live in California.
Okay. That's one of the biggest states in the country. Literally,
true.
it spans.
It's true. It's true.
They don't know, there's the whole north-south issue. Those are like two different states.
Hella cool, man.
Exactly. I'm not helping you with that. Fuck that. That is probably another indicator for you if you want to find us. But yeah. So again, that's not the issue. I mean, fairly deserted road. You see one truck. Yeah, I'm gonna see how things play out until I see, headlights turning on and perhaps hear sirens in the distance. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for gold. But that's just me. Again, I don't get enraged by PDA. Like, again, if I saw two people like having intercourse on top of their car, like outside of my house, I might be a little miffed.
What
But
about inside their car?
I mean, again, still kind of odd. But be honest, I'm gonna let those sleeping dogs lie, so to speak.
What about inside your house?
I mean,
Oh, like the Australian.
oh god.
Sterling loves Australians.
Sterling's favorite people are Australians. Aussies, as they say.
Oh, foreign exchange students. That's all I could say. It was a rough. Was that junior or senior year? I think
That would have been senior.
I think it's
No,
no, it's
junior
junior
year.
year. It's junior
Yeah.
year. Real quick for you guys, we've all been friends for close to 11 years now.
Yeah.
We all went to high school together, and we were basically brothers. Not by blood, but by mothers.
What?
I don't know.
Wait, not by blood, but by mothers?
I tried to think of something cool to say.
I mean,
I really dropped the ball, you guys.
You
I'm
really
sorry.
muddied the genetic waters there.
Really did.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I appreciate a romantic turn of phrase and like even courtly romance, so to speak. But that was brutal.
It was bad. Oh, because I mean, me and Jay we're brothers from another mother, but with the same name, because both my moms had the same name. And so I was trying to play along that line, but then I was like, but your mom is not
Has
the
a
same name.
Very different name.
So then I was like, get Sterling in there and
I mean, if we're
improv, you guys, improv.
if we're
I'm
gonna-
really good at it.
if we're going to keep devolving here, we might as well talk about it the various girls that we've all in different points in our lives had sex with. Of course, I'm sure you might have a different terminology depending on where you're from and where you're listening. Eskimo brothers,
What are we talking
penis
about?
cousins.
I don't know.
I guess that could be another
What is he
bond.
going with this right
That could
now?
be another bond of brotherhood. It is.
I guess. I mean, it's episode 1. Like, I was just trying to let them know, like, why we would go to high school together and stuff.
Why we would?
Sterling's taking it to,
we
like,
go high school.
We passed girls around like a joint.
I was just trying to.
Whoa!
I was just trying to show them that we had.
I mean, that was the feeling.
yeah, I was just trying to show them that we've had some brotherly love, and you're trying to show them that we are like running a sex operation.
You saying brotherly love makes it sound so much worse.
That we've had some quote unquote brotherly love.
You make it sound like we gangbang some bitches.
I said at different years and different times of our lives, and I mean, you're making the reach here with our mothers, and I'm just trying to make a simple association that sometimes
I'm just saying we're
friends
brothers.
sleep with. Yeah, well, that's true, and so why didn't we just go with that?
I don't know, man. Anyways, video games, man. Those things are crazy.
Great.
You guys playing any
Transition.
great games lately? By the way, master of segues. That they say normally MCs, but I'm an MS because I can ride some.
Ooh.
I can do some segueing.
Oh, unfortunate choice of
Master of segues.
Where are you going with this one?
MS is a disease.
Well, like multiple sclerosis.
Yeah,
Well,
just kind of. I don't know.
Way to bring it down, dude.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just a poor choice of. I don't know.
Speaking of bringing it down, Sterling has diabetes.
Wow, first episode, you guys. You're learning so much about us.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's like a first date via the radio or listening.
It really
device.
is. So for your ear holes, real quick, let's just go around in a circle and tell them one thing about us, our deepest, darkest secrets. Sterling, how about you start? You have diabetes. How does that make you feel?
How's that a deep secret? I mean, it's not that's a big deal. I mean, you don't find out unless you pay attention to me at lunch, I suppose. Like, if we didn't bring it up so often, I might even forget about it. Hell,
Yeah, it doesn't really impact your life very much as far as that goes, except when it comes to healing, because you're pretty much perpetually broken.
He's on the opposite spectrum of Wolverine.
yeah, that's valid.
Like if you needed a gauge of like where like people would fall in between for healing powers, you would have Wolverine at 10 and Sterling at -3.
Yeah.
Wow, -3. That's actually fairly kind. I'll be honest. That's really nice.
Because I mean, you do eventually.
You do
heal.
heal.
I do heal.
So
It's true.
Like I don't want to be like.
And when you heal up pretty sturdy.
Yeah,
It just takes you like double the time.
Yeah. How about you, Jay?
Dark.
Since we don't want to talk about video games, we're gonna talk about deep dark secrets.
It's a deep dark
It's
secret.
an introduction.
And remember, it is an introduction, but remember, it's also the first podcast, and we want you to come back. We want people to come back. So, like, it's like a first date where you have to let them know you have layers, but you also don't want to scare them away.
This is how I treat most first dates with my blinding wit and just outright
And
just
dark secrets.
dark, mysterious sexuality. I like to think.
You know what's really good for audio podcasts? Dead air. That's really good. It's really good.
That's good. Well, I don't know. I don't have any dark secrets to pull out of my ass right now.
No, I mean it doesn't have to be crazy. Like Sterling has diabetes.
I
I'm
guess.
gonna be
Yeah,
like.
but again, that wasn't a dark secret.
Was it? Literally, it's like tattooed. It's like the Joker with damaged. Yours just says diabetes on your forehead.
Oh God! Wow, that was actually really fucking. That was fucked up.
I haven't dropped one that bad in a long time.
Yeah, literally years. And usually, I should admit, it's Jason.
Kobe.
Oh God. As another odd point, Jason has labeled it the Gray Death because it's a lot slower than the Black Death, and it just so happens that the awareness ribbons for diabetes happens to be gray. It was just a wonderful cosmic joke.
Yeah, this was at IHOP at like 3 a.m.
Good.
I believe it was the same night that another friend of ours made a crepe poop a strawberry.
Oh God.
She was very amused by it. Do you remember that?
Yeah. My God.
She was like cutting with her fork and the strawberry popped out.
I don't think I've ever heard this story.
That's the whole story. I mean, she
That's-
was cutting into it and a strawberry popped out and she goes, ha, ha, it pooped a strawberry. And
This
that
is without the intervention of drugs or alcohol.
No, it's
this
just
is
kinda late.
legitimately just late at night.
Wow.
But yeah, it was an adventure. So I had to kind of lighten the mood after that.
Yeah.
By bringing it to a dark place.
A gray place, if that helps.
Yeah. I don't know. To bring it back to deep dark, I guess I would be. I don't know. Maybe I'm emotionally unstable sometimes.
Especially when single.
Especially when single.
As we're going back,
ladies,
on the topic.
I'm single.
I don't know. It's not really a dark secret, but on the topic of disabilities, I'm colorblind.
Yeah, you
So-
are colorblind.
Everyone kind of forgets that.
I always forget you're colorblind.
and then I make an offhand comment, and they're like, "That car is not purple." I'm like,
It's
"What?
Not purple.
It's definitely blue." It's not like a dark blue? No, it's just like a regular blue. I'm just like, damn it,
You know what he would have
son of
loved?
a bitch.
We should take him to see the purple car we saw yesterday.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder what color you would have saw. Saw? Seen. I speak the English.
I don't know.
It was literally like a dark plum, but it looked black from far away.
That's the thing. I legitimately don't know. I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
Also, there are times when I like, for the most part, like I think I can see most colors. I just can't differentiate when they start to transition. I think, but like people are just like, no, that's not that. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, okay, so we're gonna get really deep right now. Real deep. Real deep. Real deep.
Keep going.
I'm uncomfortable.
Real deep.
I'm uncomfortable.
Put the lotion on the skin. And tell me you love me. Tell me you love me.
Yeah, you got deeper.
You did.
What is going on with this?
Bro,
I'm so concerned.
I just have so much
I'm concerned.
I have so much to say, and I just do. I mean,
I just wanted to hear him keep going down on his register until he got to the bare bottom.
All right, back to what you were going
Why
to
is
say.
her so southern? Apparently, this
Why?
is Deliverance. The
Yeah.
like, maybe it's like how I can only rap in a British accent. Maybe I can only go deep in a Southern accent.
Oh my god.
If you guys ever have the chance to hear me rap T Bagizzo, I can only rap with a British accent. It's the only way I can keep beat. Fun fact about me. But to go back to colorblind. So it is really interesting. Like, you know, we all see colors and experience different things different ways. But, like, you know, so that goes back to that mantra of, like, you've never truly seen yourself. You've only had the description told you, like, to you by other people, or have you only seen your reflection in a mirror? You know, so like it's
I
kind of
guess
weird.
I've seen like my hand.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like you've never
but,
seen
like, my
your
face.
face. And like it's a weird stuff like that to think about. Like the one that always gets me is like, say you spoke another language, like Spanish, like that was your native language, and you learned English. Do you hear? Like I want to know how the brain works. Like, do they hear English translate to Spanish because that's more of their native language, or like, you know, how does that brain? How do those synapses work?
I guess it depends on your comfort level with the other language. Because like I did like 5 years of Spanish, so I can pick up on most things. I'm better with written because I do translate it, but like I'm not fluent, so I have to sit there and think about it and be like, okay, that's what this means. Versus if you know, whatever, born speaking Spanish, moved to an English speaking country early enough on that you then learn that as a fluent second language. And then maybe live there. Maybe it stops at some point. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
Random, somewhat nerdy effect. Kind of interesting with that with Anne Rice's The Mummy, and in it the character, of course, you know, speaks, and his native language is ancient Egyptian. So I guess a purized form of Egyptian, very different than today's spoken Egyptian. But he also, through the centuries, picked up on other languages, you know, other Romance languages and Latin, and eventually he does pick up on English. He does this very fast. Again, there's a supernatural element to it, but he always describes it as with each new language, his ability to think expanded, because I believe you kind of absorb concepts in your natural language, but as you get these other languages that have other avenues of both description, and as you kind of, I mean, you can almost, you know, textualize the feeling of a language as it's spoken. It can even change the way you think. And so I remember it was just a comment that the transition from Latin to English was a better language for description and understanding, and so it was one of his favored languages that he appropriated because it gave him the greater ability to express things that he had already come to know.
How much of that realistically do you think is accurate, and how much just like romanticized because it had to be described?
I'll be honest. Again, I took a manual language. I took sign language, and when you come to think of something, you're thinking of the visible signs to describe something in your head. So for me, it kind of brought it home. I happened to be reading the book at the same time as I was taking the class, and it made me come to understand different languages. And again, this may be different. I've only tried a little bit with French and Spanish, and it helped me to try and think in the actual words themselves. And when I didn't have something in that language, comparatively to English, it kind of, made me hit a bit of a wall. So, but again, that's just from my experience to get in an odd point there.
No, man, that makes sense. It's totally deep. We just got scientific on your ass.
We had segued to video games. Where were you going?
I was trying to, I was literally just looking at my list and I was like, man, remember that one time I tried to talk about video games? But I'll bring that up after I talk about your mom. Yes, that's right. Our first sponsor of Chubby Cat is your mom. And I just want to say thank you to your mom for donating $50 to our podcast. It's freaking great and awesome. And please tell her that I will return the cookie tin once we're done eating her delicious baked goods that she made us.
They were delightful.
They were delicious. But yeah, so thank you, your mom, and I hope you're having a great weekend.
Thanks for being an awesome sponsor.
Yeah. Hope you come back for some seconds.
Are we still talking about
I didn't even take
sponsor?
that. I didn't even take that sexually, and that's where it went.
Nope.
It was not my bad.
And we're back to video games. So, as you guys know me, I play video games.
You do.
I enjoyed the video games, as we all do. Sterling is the newest addition to the video game life. So for his answers, I'm going to know, but I'll let him talk about it anyways. But I just want to know what recent video games you guys have been playing, what games you're looking forward to, if any. And yeah.
Good answer. Or question.
Yeah.
Hey!
Great answer!
Hey. Okay, so I'll start since I'm kind of probably the wild card here on this one. So I've been playing a game. I got a bunch of games during the Steam Summer Sale, and I'm just kind of getting around to playing them. So I picked up a game called Life is Strange, which has been pretty interesting so far.
Is it? Would you say strange?
Enjoy it. It is. And so it's an episodic game, kind of like Telltale style. I got it when it was all finished. And you play as, I guess, high school. You're like 18-year-old, maybe like an early college. But you're kind of this nerdy, shy girl that is going for a photo class, I guess. She's attending the school for the teacher.
Yeah.
Teaches photography because
This
she's
is one
passionate
that
about
takes
it.
place like in the wilderness.
No, it's kind of like in just like Oregon though, like a really small town.
Wow.
And so there is like some foresty stuff.
A fucking
It's a helicopter,
helicopter crashing in my house.
apparently.
All right.
Anyways, so it's kind of cool. But anyway, so like within the first couple of minutes of the game, you discover you have the ability to rewind time. Almost like Prince of Persia style, but not like action adventure-y. Just like you make decisions, and then you can decide like, do I want to keep that decision? Do I want to rewind? And it puts you in like weird situations where, so she's again kind of like awkward and kind of starts to come out of her shell a little bit and doing like things to try to save people. But this whole like conspiracy thing is unwinding at her school. And so she's kind of like deciding like, do I use my powers for good to save people, or do I try to conserve it and maybe let somebody like, I don't know, have something dumb like a car drives by and splashes them with water, or do I go and move them, but then I draw attention to the fact that like, oh, I've done that a few times, like, or do I, if I'm like searching for clues, do I remember to rewind to undo the evidence that I got the clue? Like little things like that. And it's kind of interesting and cool, and you're just kind of almost like solving this little mystery with the rewind time ability. And then I'll give you certain choices. Like there was a good one early on where this like security guard comes up to bully this other girl who's kind of having a really rough like emotional time. She's kind of getting picked on, and you have the opportunity to take a photo of them, which gives you then proof later on to help convince them like this happened. like when you present it like, oh, he was bullying them.
So you're not affected by rewinding time. So like anything.
Correct.
So anything like you keep the photo.
Exactly. Well, no. In the critical decisions, you have to pick a path.
Okay.
But in general, you are outside of time, basically. So, but in this situation, you couldn't take the photo and then rewind. So you could take the photo, but then leave the girl basically to fend for herself. So then you have evidence to use later on to try to build your case against the guard to hopefully have him stop. But the girl doesn't appreciate that you left her alone. She's like, thanks for nothing. And so then she's more emotionally unstable. Or you can step in and be like, back the hell off. And the girl's like, thank you for that. I needed somebody to help me here. But then when you're saying he was picking on her, like, do you have any proof? And you don't have the photo. So then they don't do anything about it, right? So stuff like that, where you kind of have to live with these choices that I thought was really interesting. It's been a fun dynamic so far.
That does sound cool.
It's kind of reminiscent. I don't know if anyone's watched bring back to some interesting nerd facts, but we have Eliza Dushku, and she worked in a morgue, and every once in a while, certain bodies would literally sit up and ask for her help. Again, this was a favorite kind of like post Buffy. Kind of
That wasn't Medium, was it?
No. Dear God, no. We shall not speak of that. For some reason, I wanted like True Calling or something of that nature was the name.
Okay.
Her name was True, which yay, gotta love the 90s.
One of
sometimes.
those.
Yeah, but again, so something similar. So like wrongfully murdered individuals would sit up and would ask for help, and her day would then rewind, and it was then her task to actually go through and figure out how they died and try to get to the truth of the situation. And there are often twists, and then eventually, as the program moved along, there was a counter individual. I can't remember the gentleman's name or the actor, and he would as soon as her day rewinded, his day would rewind, and his job was to try and make sure that this wrongful act did proceed. Yeah, otherwise he was a normal individual, but then working for the side of evil as soon as his day rewinded. But anyway, random segue, but kind of
could make the argument that he was working just as a balancing factor.
He openly declared himself evil in the show. So
okay.
It's the 90s, man. Simple.
No gray.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Black and white, very little gray to be dealt with. So, yeah.
So was she trying to prevent the murders or just to kind of uncover what happened and bring them to justice after the fact?
Sometimes to uncover what had happened and just, bring justice. Sometimes to actually stop the murder or the death.
Right on.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
See what I did there? I rewound time.
I think
said the word right.
I feel like it was something. I feel like it was something in the Whedonverse. If anyone's familiar with that, ever expanding Whedonverse.
That dead air though.
Yeah,
Josh Whedon.
What were you doing there?
I just saw you making weird eye contact with the mic, man. So I stopped talking.
No, I have the sun in my face, so I'm just looking away.
Okay, sorry.
I thought you were going somewhere with it. So.
Nope. I didn't hear Whedon. I heard weed, like WEED.
The Weedverse.
And I was like the show Weeds, and then I was like trying to like
decent show.
It's a great show, but I was like, I don't remember them turning back time about pot. Like I was really confused.
Well, that's the later seasons. Starting to go a little off the rails.
Yeah, I guess when they try to make that syndication money.
So I've been playing that, and I'm just playing Destiny, stay current, and new WoW expansion comes out in like 2 days.
The Legion.
So yeah,
everyone got so hard on for that.
It's always fun to go back. I don't stay too long usually.
Yeah.
I'll kind of get it out of my system and then I'm good. But I gotta go back. Gotta check it out.
I've never been a wower. I don't know. Like I get in, I get a hard on for it, and then I play for like a solid week, and then I'm kind of done, and I haven't been back.
This is true.
Yeah.
You ever got out of your 60s?
Oh, that's so rough.
I keep forgetting I have I have one character, and it's took me about what 6 years to get to like 52.
Yeah.
And then there was like a 2-year gap, and I got to level like 60, and then and that's where he sits. But
Yep.
he's cool. He's a paladin.
Good old Pally.
I don't remember his name.
Oh,
Sterling is Zanson.
Zanson. Forever.
And your paladin. All I'm coming up with is Sir Muffins, and that's not.
Nope, Sir Muffins.
That's not
is,
him.
How dare you?
But it's all I can think of right
Yeah.
Something with an E?
cares. Maybe
Not Cedric.
No. Oh,
I don't know.
he's dead to me anyways.
Ouch. How can you do that to your
Savage.
character,
I
man?
don't know. I'll go next since I feel like I'm playing the most next retro games. So I play a lot of video games, and I'm sure as a lot of people do. You play a video game, you get stuck in a hard spot, and you go, fuck this game. And then you buy a new game, or a new game comes out, and you're like, I'd rather play this game than this stupid game that I can't beat.
I just spent $60 on this. I better try it out.
I better try it out. I still have games like wrapped in cellophane. And that doesn't mean I don't beat games. It's just I beat very few games that keep me engaged for long periods of time. I play games for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, unless I'm playing with a co-op buddy and we can shit and chat, and then I don't know.
Shit and chat.
Shit and chat. I like to play on the toilet. If you can't handle it, get out.
Please. Please.
I'm shitting here. Yeah. I'm down for chatting, but only over mic. I'm shitting. But then I get these like moments of like, I really want to finish this game. And one of those games I've been playing a lot right now is Kingdom Hearts, the first one. I never beat it. I got to Hollow Bastion, beat Maleficent, and I was working my way up to go beat Ansem, and I died, and I didn't have a save file. So I said, screw this game, and I just looked up how it ended online. But years later, I bought 1.5, and then years later, after only 1.5, I'm like, I'm going to beat this game, and I'm happy to say I beat Kingdom Hearts 1. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty enjoyable. Some of the mechanics I hated. I don't know, the camera was wonky.
Yeah.
And some of the selecting items sucked. But now I'm excited because now I get to play my favorite Kingdom Hearts 2, which I've beaten 7 times. So I know I can breeze through that. Like you as well, I've been playing the shit out of Destiny because the expansion's coming out soon, and I'm super stoked for that.
Iron Lords.
Hey. I don't know. I feel like that's how Iron Lords would speak.
I'll be honest, yeah, I have a hard on for it too, so it's all good. Again, judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone. That.
Oh, that was cool.
And then actually I've been trying to beat Fire Emblem on the 3DS lately. I don't know. You ever just get because Civ 6 is coming out soon, and I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about it, and it got me jonesing to play a RTS. So I was like, oh, I need to beat Fire Emblem.
I have to beat the most recent one too. I'm on the second to last mission.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about this plenty of times, but the one thing that sucks about that game is you turn it on, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do a chapter, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but then it has all those little side missions, and you play the side missions, and you're like, man, I've been playing for 3.5 hours, but it's I didn't progress the story at all. I leveled up my characters to beef status, but that's about it.
Yep.
Who'd you marry in that game, by the way?
What's her face? Azura, the one that can sing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the blue-haired lady.
Yeah, I mean, I figured royalty calls to royalty and all that.
Right on. I married the maid. I don't know why. I was just I just liked it. She was just so cute. I was like, oh my god, I want you to be my wife.
Sterling would want to marry the one with the biggest teeth.
Wait. Did you say teeth?
Tees.
Oh,
those tees, man. Come on, we gotta keep our slang going.
We gotta
keep it snappy.
I listened to a lot of radio.
Improv. Yeah, just keep it going.
But yeah, no, that's
Tigo Biddies for any other one from the 90s rap generation. If that helps.
Bazooka Joe.
No.
Bazooka Mary.
Please
man,
stop.
that's sunlight.
Oh, it's a bright day today, Jason.
It's really coming in.
Again, if as
Uncle
Thomas,
Tom?
What?
oh my God, as
Just call me your name.
no, he called you Uncle Tom, but that's neither here nor there. Apparently,
I'm not an uncle yet, but
God.
but I do have a cabin.
We've holy yikes.
I always make that really bad joke because my name is Tom, and I am going to be an uncle someday. And I do. It's is my dream. I want to own a cabin in Colorado. And it's just all those bad circumstances. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just sorry.
Don't apologize for who you are.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
you.
I mean, technically it is who I am, but
Yeah.
but in the farthest sense of what you think I am.
Which you have a really good grasp of from this first episode, I'm sure.
I'm great. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me for video games at the moment. I mean, I have other video games I need to start. Overwatch. I turn on Overwatch every now and then, but I play on console, and no one I know plays on console. everyone plays on PC, and I have a Mac, and I don't have money to buy a PC, so I play on console.
I also just don't. I'll probably never play Overwatch. I hear good things, but
yeah, but you're not like a big.
I'm not a big PvP.
Yeah, like, and I like PvP, like the Crucible and stuff on Destiny. I fucking love, and it's like for some reason it's the one PvP like that I destroy at. Sometimes I'll do some COD, brah, you know.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear you say that.
COD bra.
I don't. I don't know why.
Call of Duty, brah.
I know.
Mountain Dew Code Red. Coursing through my veins.
This is coming from a guy who was in a fraternity. Please, that's just. Oh my god.
I'm gonna get my double polos popping and my visor upside down. I'm gonna play some COD.
Oh my.
Yeah, I went there. But yeah, I don't know. I dabble in everything.
Wow. There's a cat that found a toy.
There's a cat that found a toy. By the way, I don't know if you know this. My house is a cat sanctuary. We take in rescued and abandoned cats, and we find them new homes. Actually, that's a lie. My family just really likes cats, and we have so many cats.
Yeah, they hoard them.
We're not cat hoarders. We each individually have a cat, and together it just makes it look like we have a lot of cats. Like real talk right now. There's too many cats in my house, and I'm really sad about it. There's too many cats. So, anyways, video games. How about you, Sterling? What have you been playing lately?
Wow, that break. Again, as the gents mentioned, I am the very newest.
Very new. It's been I would say an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Uphill through rain and sleet, possibly volcanic ash at times.
We're talking like a cliff face.
Yeah, and it wasn't because you were not interested.
By no means. That was actually the furthest thing. I love both the concept. I enjoy watching other people play video games. I even enjoy, to a degree, the trash talk. I swear, especially when playing WoW, because I just get shit on in that game.
You do.
I get shit on. I run a pally. His name is Zanson. He is, formerly was at the cap level, and that took a solid.
That took some effort.
3 years and some effort, and I'm talking grinding. Grinding.
He did better than me, guys. And that says a lot.
Yeah. And
if there's one thing, where the raw talent is lacking, the determination and just the bullheadedness. I mean, you can't teach that.
Yeah. You also have the time.
He does.
You have the time to learn.
Time.
You have the time to sit down and just like, I made it 5 feet and died. All right.
So, anyway, Sterling's struggle is more along the lines of the mechanics. He's kind of technologically challenged to. It's getting better.
It is.
You've actually got him playing dual analog and succeeding.
That was another huge, nearly titanic hurdle.
Yeah.
Think any number of the challenges in Hades and described by Dante, or Hell, and that is basically what we're talking about.
Yeah. But, I mean, what we got you playing Destiny?
Play Destiny.
Got a Titan.
Got a Titan.
Right.
Actually, max level.
Max level. He can run missions on his own, right? Like.
Yeah.
I mean, not many, but I have.
He's probably like a 270 light level. I mean, it's not anything to write home about, but I mean.
But I mean,
he's
like
progressed.
But as like the games as a few games you play, what do you prefer? Do you prefer like the shooter? I mean, you've also played like Diablo, which is like the dungeon crawler, and you also played like WoW, which is on keyboard and stuff. Like, do you have a preference?
Well, I started out with WoW, and again, that was one that both Jason and Thomas kind of led me into, and I got an obscene amount of help. So you got to thank your friends, and sometimes that's what it takes. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to get you through Azeroth too. But I'll be honest, I really love Diablo. I love anything where you can put a sword in my hands. I'm not the best when it comes to finding a position and continuing to move from enemy fire while firing. No. Now, in real world, this is very different. I've been raised running obstacle courses and how to shoot a gun and all kinds of stuff, but you put dual analogs in my hand and you say, all right, don't die and kill them. And there's going to be some issues. And that's why another part where I love the Titan on Destiny, because I can literally go up and punch things and they will die sometimes. again, I have a real issue with that because I do love me some melee.
I'll go up and punch an ogre.
I will.
It didn't die, you guys.
He didn't fight the ogre.
But you guys, he did not fight the ogre yet.
It was like a rite of passage, okay?
Spent a long time amping up to fight that ogre.
We did, and by the time we got there, it was like a bitch fight.
I almost rage quit the game on several occasions, and to like kind of appease me and like dangle the carrot, they would find any mission where I'd get to pick up like a sword or the fucking
We really did. We started along quite well.
We really
rocket
did.
launcher, to get me to this point to where I got good supers where I get to throw a hammer and shit, and
He has his
where I
own
get a
sword.
Oh, his own sword. We're like, hey man, like every time I fucking hate this game, we would take out our sword and be like, but look at this, look what you get. Look what
That's a
you
sick
get.
sword.
And he's like,
that's my weakness.
That's pretty cool.
And we'd
That's
go,
my
we'd
weakness
go up
in
and
life,
kill things
video
with
games.
it, and
Yeah.
he'd be like, oh.
and that's where I really shine. Like where I'm shite for support in most situations. But if you need me to go run into a large group of opponents, I almost said guys, and that sounded bad.
Save that sound clip.
Yeah, say that clip.
Ringtone.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you need me to run in and waylay, as many enemies and just get absolutely rickety wrecked, I will do so, and with joy, so long as I have a melee weapon in hand.
Definitely gonna cut this together.
There's got to be at least 50 guys for him to get riggedy wrecked.
Or
He's out.
Or just one big guy.
One big guy.
I do.
Enough for a little.
Thomas is making the fisting gesture, suggesting both my character or my anus. Who knows? I mean, it's pretty fantastic. But yeah, if there's something big, usually the first thing, hey, can we go kill it? That's my go-to in WoW, in Diablo, in Destiny. It's not necessarily a good idea.
To interject, I usually get the question after he's already engaged combat.
It's true. He's already like.
He'll run in and be like, "What are you doing? Oh, can we not kill this thing? No, that'll fuck you up." I just stand back. I'm like, he's gonna learn today, but he doesn't really.
Nope. I do it. And I do it still. I've been doing it since we started playing WoW. What, 2-3 years ago?
I remember the first time you ran into a Fell Reaver.
Oh, good
in Outlands.
God. That was nightmarish. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, Jason? The screams.
Yeah.
And this is while in an apartment late at night.
And I just went, whoop, and I just got on my flying mount and
just dipped.
Speaking of people bailing and WoW.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So at one point, Thomas and I were playing WoW together. Youthful level 40s.
And you know what? I don't think I was my. Was I not my paladin? No, I was
You
my
were your mage.
I was my mage.
Select the mage.
Select the mage.
And we're in Stranglethorn Vale.
Yep.
This is pre-Cataclysm. And we were on a PvP server.
Because we're
Stranglethorn,
idiots. I don't know why we were on a PvP server.
because Cedric was playing on a PvP server and he wanted us to play with him.
He wanted to play. Okay, and they never played with
And
us.
he never played with us.
Yeah.
So, we're on a PvP server.
F you, Cedric.
And it's like first time into a new, like a PvP zone.
Yeah, in a contested
In the
area.
original one, Stranglethorn Vale, like back in Vanilla and Burning Crusade days, was your first time on a PvP server. You were getting out of purely aligned territory.
Yeah, like you walk in and it's like, hey man, you're now marked for PvP.
Yeah, so we're like, all right, if we stick together, we should be fine.
Right, no one's
was
gonna
like,
mess with us.
cool.
We're low levels.
We're low levels, but we got two of us. I'm a paladin, so like at the time, I normally play a Death Knight, but right then I was a paladin.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can bubble us
you're
if
Russian-
we need.
you're
I can
Russian
heal.
dude.
Like, we'll be good. And Thomas is like, yeah, all right. So we got each other's backs, 100%.
We had a discussion about it. Like
Yeah,
a 5 minute
walking across a bridge.
5-minute discussion.
And this level question mark like skull horde shaman runs up. and
Runs up at the edge of the bridge. Like we're on a wooden bridge. It's in a movie, y'all. Like
Yeah,
we're in
we're
the middle of the
bridge.
We're in the middle of the bridge, and a fucking shaman just pops up on the side of the bridge.
And he like hesitates for a second on his mount and then starts running towards us. And Thomas's character, he took the time to fucking swivel his character in game to look at me and he goes, nope. And he just jumps off the side of the bridge.
I thought he was gonna fall. I thought that was the plan. And then I got down on the ground. I somehow survived, and I realized Jason didn't follow me.
I was standing ready to fight.
Yeah, yeah.
True paladin fashion.
True. I mean, I'm a mage, y'all. Skull. He was a skull.
So yeah, that was when I learned I couldn't count on Thomas.
This is one of my favorite stories from WoW. I think this is definitely one of the things that first got me interested.
This shit also happened in real life at the haunted fucking trail.
Man, you're just bringing up some resentment right now.
I am. So we're at the haunted trail. This is probably like 5 or 6 years back.
This is a while ago.
This is a while ago.
Yeah.
And we're going into the last bit.
We're taking it like a man.
And he's like, all right, this is probably the end. But this is usually where they pull out all the stops.
This is where like the chains. This is like, for those who don't know, the haunted trail is like, you know, like one of those scary houses you go to during Halloween where they like have mazes and stuff and jump out at you. And the last part where we're at, normally the last part of this particular haunted trail, they have chainsaws.
And Thomas is like, all right, I'm not great about chainsaws, but like we'll stick together.
We'll stick together.
Like, all right, cool.
The hallway was big enough for 2 abreast. Like,
And so we fucking literally linked arms.
we
He was like,
did
all right,
link arms.
all right, just stick together.
got
I was
this.
like, cool. I fucking trust my best friend.
Yeah.
My little brother.
Yeah.
And then behind us is like a secret panel or something that opened up.
No. What it was there was a guy in the corner.
Was he in the corner?
Yeah, he was like sitting in the corner with the chainsaw, and we're like, oh, this guy's gonna fucking jump. This guy's gonna fucking jump. This guy's gonna jump. And we were like getting hyped, and we walked past it together.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're all freaked out. But
And
when-
like nothing happened.
and
And he
then-
let it go like happen in the hallway.
Yeah, and we made it halfway past him, and then the rest of our group came up behind us, which was like 6 or 7 people, and then we heard a chainsaw. Chainsaw guy turned on.
Yeah, he turned on and he started walking towards us.
Yeah,
And
because he was behind us.
Thomas goes, fuck that! And just shoves me into the wall and takes off running.
Hey, man.
Thomas, I think we're finding out some stuff about your character, bro.
Hey, man.
This is some. No, don't hey man me. This is like this is real character stuff.
Like-
I'm
Like, hey, man. Like, I was juiced. Like,
I was
fucking-
just too!
You survived? I mean, I was in a pure flight moment of.
There was no fight in you.
No fight in me at all. And I mean, it was more of like my body, I think, pushed you because you were holding me back. We were linked arms, and my body wanted to go forward, and I wasn't going anywhere because we had linked arms. And so
This was literally half a second in a chainsaw sound. You didn't try to run. It wasn't like I stood my ground and was like, no, we're staying. Like, your first instinct was disengage and leave meat behind to slow it down.
cut and run.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, I would give the best eulogy. Oh, man.
So these are the experiences that taught me that, like, when shit hits the fan, like, don't be with Thomas initially. Like, come back for him later.
I don't do good at jump scares.
And then he's like, all right, I can be a stalwart companion once shit's already hit the fan.
Once shit's hit the fan and I got my bearings, I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But when shit hits the fan initially, like shit jumping out at me, or like fucking if I had to clear a house during a zombie apocalypse, like might not want to be with me when I do that, like because I might accidentally shoot you in the face if you're like.
Let's talk about you headbutting that clown in the stomach.
Yeah. So
I don't think
different.
I've heard this one.
Scream
That's
Zone.
surprising.
You haven't heard this one?
No.
So this is like before the Haunted Trail story. I was
Yep.
with a different group at the Scream Zone.
Oh wait, no, I was there for
You were
this one.
there,
Holy
you were
shit!
there.
Yeah, never mind. Yep.
And at the Scream Zone, they have 2 mazes and like a hail trail ride. So we went.
It's a hay
we did-
ride.
Hay
Sorry,
ride.
hay ride.
Yeah. What did I say?
Hail trail.
Hail
Hail
trail.
trail.
It's a hay ride.
Hay ride
with actors springing out.
Yeah, and they jump in.
It's entertaining
Yeah. So we got all
for
3.
most people.
Well,
Not Thomas.
one of the mazes like was like it was fine, but one of my biggest fears, like I would say most people in the world, because it's fucking normal, is clowns. I don't like clowns. And so we're going through this maze, and it's like scary, and then all of a sudden, I was with this girl I was trying to impress at the time, and this clown came out, and I was like, oh shit. But I was kind of like in the middle of the group, so I was like, I can just get by this clown, it's fine. But a mutual friend of ours, who I shall not name, had to be a dick about it, and was like, hey, this guy doesn't like clowns, and points at me, and like it was like, you guys, it was like the fucking devil just like came out of nothing and locked eyes with me and just was like, I'm gonna make you my bitch. And immediately as we made eye contact, I started running. Clown's chasing me. I make a wrong turn into a dead end, into a neon like black lit room, and I'm like, fuck. I turn around and the clown is doing this like weird sadistic like head tilt thing and has his arms out and is basically barricading me in and slowly creeping me like back to the wall, so my back hits the wall and I'm in a corner. As the clown comes in, like my personal hell, you guys. Like I'm trying to get this across. I don't think I am, but it was my personal hell. And next thing I know, I'm outside the maze and I'm just breathing heavy, and everyone in the group comes out and they start like laughing. And I don't know, you were there, Sterling, so maybe you pick up the rest of the story because I don't remember this part apparently.
Now, this is a good segue back to me for two reasons, because it again also speaks to my video game experience. I get lost like nobody's business.
He really does.
He really does.
No sense of direction whatsoever. I see, if I'm lucky enough to realize that there's a map that can aid me in which direction I'm supposed to be going, I select where I'm supposed to be going, and then I just run a straight line through. It doesn't particularly matter what target, mountain, monster, zone. I just go that straight line, and that's where I go.
Yeah.
As we're in real life in mazes, I don't get lost. So I've watched my good friend Thomas here get cornered by the clown, and this clown is creeping up on him, and I could almost swear to God that Thomas's eyes rolled back in his head, and it's like he snorted, got down, and charged at this clown. I think this actor was probably scared shitless at this point, because the game has suddenly changed. Flip the script, and here comes this very pale, as in all the blood has left him, pallid, near-death individual charging towards him. And then I hear a yell, and it is a bellow of a yell, and this clown gets sacked right in the gut.
I got the fight
By
in me that
Thomas.
time.
Yeah, suddenly Thomas found his fight. He may not remember it, but he
Fuck
hit
that clown.
this clown in the solar plexus with his head. Give it, like, there was
Fuck that clown.
no planning. It was legitimately fuck that clown. So this clown literally gets rolled backwards as Thomas bull rushes him, and then Thomas has found the light at the end of the tunnel, and he is gone. The clown is both gasping for air and in hysterics. He is laughing his ass off, because I don't think he's ever seen anything like this, and I believe it. And he's rolling, but at the same time he doesn't have enough air, so it's a very brutal situation. We all make it past. People are asking, "Hey man, what happened? What happened to the clown?" I was like, Thomas happened to the clown. We come out, and there is Thomas just breathing, just heavy panting gasps, and that's how Thomas nearly killed a clown.
Yeah, man.
It was rough. It was a hell of a day for Thomas.
Like I said, fuck that clown.
Fuck that clown,
clowns,
and
bro. If you're a professional clown, I'm sorry. Fuck you.
Yep.
That's it. That's my stance. That's my stance on this podcast.
Have you guys
Chubby
heard
Cat?
about the Green Bay clown
No,
that cruises around at night?
that's a lie. We're not going to talk about that.
It's a legit thing.
Sweet Jesus, what?
His name's like Chuckles or some shit.
Nope.
And
Hey
he
guys.
walks around Green
So
Bay.
thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Chubby Cats. It's fucking great.
Actually, this is a thing. I mean, I don't know about the Green Bay one specifically, but there's a
Hey, no.
city aptly named California City in California, and you would never be able to find it because it's in the middle of the desert, and it's more or less a failed town, more or less. And for a number of weeks,
Nope.
clowns were
Fuck
just
it.
showing up in the streets late at night.
Bullshit.
And they were just wandering around. I don't know if anyone potentially remembers the story. And it was happening across cities across the country, and they were just showing up and just patrolling around and kind of creeping people out. Maybe not to the level Thomas was, but definitely creeping people out. But it was very interesting, freaky stuff. I feel like this is a good premise for a horror game.
Yeah, dude. That's fuck that. But yeah, on that horrible note, we're gonna wrap things up here. But I just want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. If you made it this far and are listening to the end of this podcast, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it so much, maybe you would check us out on our website, www. You don't really have to say www anymore, right?
No.
No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. So just check us out on chubbycat.net, where we'll be posting this podcast every week. And then, stay tuned for other videos and podcasts that will be going up on that website. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Maybe leave us a rating, or even like a comment Maybe let us know what you thought about the podcast, good or bad. We're open to critiques. Like I said, we're new at this. We are babies. We are babies making a podcast.
Maybe no accent.
Yeah, please. This will be the first,
Put that critique
maybe
in.
first and last time. If you feel like helping us out by saying that, we would appreciate
Yeah,
it.
maybe. I mean, if you comment you don't like my accents, maybe I'll listen.
It's like the radio. First time, last time listener.
First time, last time listener. But no, seriously, leave us a comment. So if there's anything you'd like to hear or approve, that'd be great. You can also email us questions. I would love to get questions from you guys. Let's do life questions. Let's do relationship questions, because we're 3 dudes that have lived some life, and we would love to give you some advice on that. And you can email us at chubbycatinc@gmail.com, and we'll read those and give you some advice maybe next time we do a podcast. Also check us out on Twitter and Facebook, social medias,
Instagram, Tumblr.
All the big platforms.
all those platforms, all those medias.
Potentially nudies. We'll see. I mean, not of us, but of in
what's
general.
up, But yeah, like I said, and also,
Why are you a gangster all of a sudden, man?
hey man, it's a radio. I want them to feel like there's a plethora of characters in this room right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
God,
I
hope
guess.
I'm so concerned and uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
Oh man.
He went gangster. I went Ray Charles over here.
You did. You
Yeah.
got the sunglasses on.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, so if you enjoyed this, you want to hear more, please subscribe, and please pass it along to a friend, or share it. Be like, hey, listen to these guys be idiots on a podcast.
Or if it was torturous, someone that you feel like shitting on.
Fuck yeah. If you have
Talk
an
about their dark secrets.
yeah, if you have an enemy and you want them to suffer for an hour and 15 minutes or 10 minutes, fucking just be like, hey man, you should listen to Chubby Cat, because you're chubby.
Wow.
That's not our slogan. That's not our slogan.
Please stop.
I'm still trying to find it's a slogan.
It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress, but like I said, thank you again very much for listening and checking us out. Until next time, you guys, stay chubby.
That's not our.
No,
please stop.
that one didn't work either.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Later.